Maybe just thoughts on the game on the weekend and how the groups responded to training.
Yeah, obviously a bit of a tough result, but yeah, with the conditions and stuff like that, it was kind of hard to play exactly how we wanted to play our brand of footy, but at the same time there were lots of positives in that, and we're pretty quick to move on to Melbourne this week. It's obviously a massive game and they're a great team, so we're kind of just moved our focus onto them this week now.
Do you take a look at how you played in those weather conditions? It sounds like there's going to be maybe some tough conditions over in Melbourne as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think we were overhand passing a little bit as well in that game as well, so I think this week we're going to focus on kind of switching the ball a bit more and just kicking it rather than making it a bit more difficult for ourselves.
Daisy, is that something you've addressed with the players? Has been able to adapt to conditions on the fly?
Yeah, it's a constant work on. I think what I was really proud of is the way our team just turned up and competed. It was a tough day, and a lot of what we're building in our game style, it was hard to practice it on the day, but our response and want to just embrace the day that we got was really good, and our effort and ability to keep playing a win through the game was great. We were a bit slow to start. And just gave up a couple of crucial moments that gifted Fremantle some easy goals, and to their credit they took their opportunity, and then it's just hard to peg them back on a day where goals aren't easy to come by, but couldn't question their effort and will. Right up until the last 2 minutes I could see a team that was out there trying to win and adapt and have a go, but definitely we've used this week to be realistic about the fact that those conditions exposed a couple of chinks in our armour. Yeah, it didn't exactly suit how we wanted to play, but if we want to be a good team, we have to be able to win in all conditions. So it gave us some great feedback that we could just practice, and sounds like we might get another opportunity to practice them this weekend. So it'll be great to see if we can implement some of those adjustments.
One of the things that stood out was sort of the struggle to convert territory and inside 50s into actual scores. Was that down to conditions, or was that a tactics thing? How do you address that, especially if you've got another week game?
Some credit has to go to Fremantle. I thought the way they defended in that third quarter when we were peppering and creating good looks was, that's part of it on a wet day, to have strong bodies that just keep turning up and winning their crucial contests and being prepared to put their body on the line. So I'd give a bit of credit to Fremantle. We knew that was the type of opposition we were coming up against, and they made it hard for us to score, but definitely looking at ways that we can work together to attack more dangerous parts of the ground and keep a bit of space in those parts of the ground is something that we've reviewed this week and then trained.
What have you addressed with your defensive group? You're coming up against a team who inside 50s and also efficiency inside 50s pretty darn good. Is there anything that you need to sort of adapt with the defensive unit, given maybe even Kate Hall, who gets the job on her?
Yeah, well, I think one of Melbourne's real strengths is, their fundamentals around the ball. So as damaging as their forwards are, it's sometimes the supply they get because they're so clean with their skills around the ball. So a big focus for us will be our pressure. It's been a big area of growth for us this year, our ability to sustain our pressure through quarters. So we'll be looking to bring our best pressure game, because we think if we can limit the supply that their forwards get, or when it does go in there, if there's pressure on it, that it'll really help our backs out. So that's probably the biggest thing that we're focusing on in terms of nullifying their impact. But there's some good players, but we back our backs in if we can get pressure on the ball to be able to compete with them.
Seems like the list has taken a little bit of a hit this week with injuries. Can you replace someone like Lou Painter that's had such a promising start to the season? Yeah,
well, the beauty of our squad this year is we just keep trying to develop depth across our full list, and with only 30 players on an AFLW list, you sort of head into the season knowing that everyone will be needed at some point. So we've sort of had that mentality anyway. It's disappointing for Lou. She'll miss this week with concussion. She was cleared to return to play on the day, but then developed some symptoms after. So she's doing well now and progressing well, but just the main thing is looking after her and making sure she's all good. So she'll miss. Liz McGrath will miss with her ankle. She just rolled her ankle and will miss about 3 to 4 weeks. And then Swanee unfortunately got suspended for a week. So there'll be 3 changes to our team that we'll discuss after this.
Does someone like playing the hooker get a bit more of a look into return, given that you're maybe missing that experience of Swanson?
Yeah, Hooks has had some illness herself. We've had a bit of a flu go through the team over the last couple of weeks, and she was one of the last to go down, so she's missed a bit of training with that, so she'll be unavailable this week, just given how interrupted her last couple of weeks have been. But definitely would have loved her experience out there and look forward to getting her back when she's well.
In regard, is it sometimes special going back and coaching against the old club that you played for, or is it a little bit different?
I don't know. I'm about to find out. No, it'll be a really good challenge. I mean, I don't think there's anyone that respects Mick and Kate and their team more than me, having been able to see them up close. So it's a really good challenge. But yeah, one of the biggest things that both Mick and I and Kate and I bonded over was our competitiveness and our will to win. So that'll be no different when we face each other on the weekend, and I expect nothing different from them either.
Ella, is there a sense that Melbourne are gettable after Port beat them on the weekend? There was a lot of upsets on the weekend, and that was one of the big ones. Does that give hope to the group coming against a side like the Demons?
I think we go into every week thinking every week's gettable, especially with our form this year. And Melbourne's just the same, and obviously Daisy has played there and kind of knows a few little secrets, we'd like to think. So, we know what their strengths are, and we kind of want to do what we can to limit that as much as possible. So, yeah, absolutely. I think, like I said, every week we go into with that mentality.
Are you allowed to share any of the secrets that Daisy
No,
has?
maybe not.
They play a bit like us for some reason. I think they're copying me.
Yeah, I reckon that's, yeah.
What did you see with the Port Adelaide game, though? Maybe the chinks that you can kind of expose for the Demons?
So we did a bit of that today, actually. Port Adelaide were just kind of good at just kind of going straight down the line rather than kind of overhand passing like what I was talking about before. So, we're going to use our shape this week, and also they were really good at their squeeze. So we're just going to make sure that we don't let Melbourne get any of those easy hand passes and then hit any easy targets.
How important are these big games against top teams for a developing side like yourselves to sort of measure where you're at, in the season? Yeah,
absolutely. I think, obviously Melbourne have been the benchmark for a few years now. So I think, we'll take a lot out of this. I think, if we can get them, we can get anyone. So I think we've all kind of got that mentality. And I think, like I said before, we do go into each game thinking that we can do it. So as much as it is a big game, it's kind of at the same time just another game,
And for yourself, you've gone from strength to strength across the last few seasons, and you get more attention sort of every week. How are you finding having 2 or 3 midfielders sort of come to you at stoppages at times?
It's been interesting. I've liked it. It's fun. It's always a challenge every week. Sometimes thinking that I'm going to get a bit more attention, but my teammates have been great. They've been really supportive to me, and every week before the game they're asking me like, who's going to come to you? I'll get you with a block or something like that. So they're super good at just like getting around me, and I assume they'll continue to do that for me as well.
And that midfield seems to have really come along this year as well. Lou's obviously going to miss this week, but Courtney Rowley, who missed last year, you played with her appeal. How have you seen her development?
I think Courtney was always going to be a gun. Even Peel Thunder, she was always just a step above, just her cleanness around the footy, and I think it's awesome to see her finally coming into her skin. Obviously she's had a few injuries with her knee, but she's really confident at the moment with her football, and it's just so good to see that she's finally getting rewarded with it.